Everyone thinks that they know self-care, and they think self-care is face masks, bubble baths, and slow jams at nighttime with candles on. And while that is a good moment and that is considered a form of micro self-care, it is important to distinguish the difference between micro self-care habits and true self-care. And true self-care is creating systems to consistently prioritize yourself. So I want you to think about how in your life have you already created systems for yourself to continuously make space for yourself and make yourself a priority in your own life? Or is everyone else just overtaking your life and taking control over your time and energy to where you feel like you don't have enough time for self-care, therefore you schedule the intermittent bubble baths and face mask sessions? Basically, how are you putting yourself first consistently on an everyday basis? That is self-care. And by the end of this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips to truly take care of yourself, transform your life, and have an epic start to 2025 with the Actualized Glow Up Guide.
Bradley, I'm standing here right now, you're so demanding. Tell me what you want from me. Concluding.
I'm Morgan, and welcome back to my channel, Actualized AF, where we talk strategies and tips to actualize all the goals you desire and become that person you've always visualized. And today, we're talking self-care, what people think versus reality. Now, we all know people think that self-care is bubble baths and face masks and candles. While I love all of those things, and I'm not knocking it, and I do all of those things, I have established 5 routines in my life to consistently show up for myself, and these 5 things have truly transformed the way that I go about life, and they've actually allowed me to set better boundaries as I move forward with other people in the world. Now that I do these things for myself and I've created these consistent ways of living for myself, I know how I want other people to treat me now, and I have better boundaries throughout my life so that I can live and not feel like other people are sucking the time and energy out of me. It's given me better control over my life, and basically I have reclaimed my power and my time. Number 1 is scheduling regular me time and treating it as a non-negotiable appointment. Everyone who follows me and is in my life knows that on Sundays, I do not leave the house. This is something that I had to set a clear boundary for myself and basically train myself to treat it as self-care. And I do this so that I can reset my mind and my body. I don't feel like I'm running around on the weekends and have to be somewhere and then have to restart my running around and having to be somewhere for other people on Mondays. Sundays is my day to rest, relax, and only do what I want to do on that day. Also, it gives me time to take care of my home, because if my home is a mess, I'm a mess. Over the past few years, I realized that I was needed in so many different areas of life. I felt like I had no control over my life anymore. It was getting to the point where it was affecting my health. And I needed to say, stop. I cannot do this anymore. I can't continue to give up my weekends to be somewhere where you need me to be, even though I need to be at home folding my laundry and watching Housewives to recover from the week that I just had. So I needed to take time to say, hey, on Sundays, I'm not leaving the house. I'm not going to show up for anybody in any capacity, because this is what I choose to do. And if I can't do this today, then I'm not going to be able to perform throughout the week. That is now a non-negotiable for me. It's taught me to say no, to think about always the priority, the bigger picture, and the goal. The goal for me is whatever's on my vision board, and I need to bring it to life. I'm not going to do that if I'm run dry and run rampant. I just needed time for myself. So for you, that might not be staying home on a Sunday. That could look like every Monday from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I do this particular thing for myself. Or every Friday night after work, I do this for myself. No one else's plans can interrupt that. I know that it's so difficult because so many things happen throughout the week and so many things come up. Number one, what I did was I broadcasted to my audience. I broadcasted it to my accountability group. I broadcasted it to my friends and my family. Everyone knows that this time is mine. And so there's no lack of communication and misunderstanding about where I'm going to be and why I haven't shown up. I haven't shown up because I already told you and I was transparent about my schedule and my needs beforehand. So in order to schedule this and schedule this regular me time as a non-negotiable, the number one thing is for you to be communicative to the people who are trying to take your time and your energy and your life. Through this scheduling, you're opening a conversation for communication about your boundaries and your needs to your friends and family. The second tip for true, consistent self-care, and I love this, and I've done a video on it already that the internet love, is manifestation journaling, or just journaling in general. I started a daily habit of manifestation journaling. So I start my days. Number one, I write affirmations on one side of the page, and on the other side of the page, I write a manifestation journal entry. And this is basically where I think about my future self or a future event that is happening in my life and how I want it to play out. Although life is uncontrollable and so many things will happen that, I have no control of, I have basically, by writing it down in a journal, I'm setting a minimum standard of how I want my life to look. It also gives me time to think about truly my desires for myself. So I'm not just saying and putting something on my vision board, oh, I want a dream car or my dream job, or I want to go on this trip. Every day I'm choosing a new topic to write about, and I'm writing about the specifics of that topic. If it's the dream car, I'm writing about the fabric on the seats, me entering it on a sunny Sunday afternoon driving throughout the city. I'm writing about the sunroof. I'm writing about how my hands touch the steering wheel. I'm getting so specific that I am truly thinking about every single aspect of that topic so that when it comes time to make the decision to do those things, I know exactly what I want. And part of self-care is understanding and taking the time to understand what you want as a person and your needs and your desires, and how nothing else is going to get in the way of that. That can come off as being stubborn, but a lot of times the people who struggle with self-care are the people who don't know what they want and don't know how to communicate it. So by taking the time to know what you want, figure it out, and understand how to communicate it with the specific language that you're using, there's no way that you could misinterpret that when you're communicating it either to the world or to the universe when it's being gifted to you in the future. So take time to think. Truly, in this life, we're never given time to just think. We're expected to do, to go, to be. But if you give yourself time to think about thinking, think about doing, think about being, then you're able to better understand who you are as a person and execute your needs and your desires and your wants in a pleasurable way for all. So journal every day. And that's just manifestation journaling. Maybe you have another way of journaling. Maybe you're journaling about, your past. Maybe you're journaling about whatever you're journaling about, and whatever style of journal you're doing, it's allowing you to think about the why and the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and the how of everything. So journaling is number one on my to-do list every single day. Well, maybe like number 3. I go to the gym, I come home, and then I start journaling. Number 3 is have high value hobbies. And I just posted about this on my Instagram. I said high value, low cost hobbies. High value, low cost hobbies are hobbies that you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money on, but you're getting a lot of value out of the experience. So many people, and I'm not knocking Pilates. But so many people are signing up for Pilates memberships. They're getting all the clothes. They're getting the socks that don't make you move on the thing, on the reformer. But I actually want a reformer in my gym downstairs, but that means I'm not going to get a Pilates membership. I'm just going to go downstairs in my house. So many people are going to the bougie yoga studios, the bougie this, the bougie that. It's time that we redefine luxury for ourselves. And what I mean by redefining luxury is rethinking what it means to have a hobby. Social media will get you in a craze thinking that you need to be spending on having fun and being with your friends. When the real goal is to have fun and be with your friends, you can do that anywhere. Find hobbies that are high value, low cost, so that you can conquer multiple goals at one time and also be taking care of yourself because it's offering so much value to your life. One example that I gave in my Instagram video that I did was that me and two other friends, we go on hikes regularly. We hop in my friend's Jeep. We explore around Atlanta. We bring our dogs. It's now a thing and it's something that we look forward to. And now we formed a little trifecta of just elevation that I actually look forward to this hobby, and I'm glad that I don't have to spend money on it. Not only am I hanging out with friends, getting in a workout, exploring a new city, or a new part of town, I am also saving money, which is another goal of mine for this year. And hikes like these are crucial for my self-care because during that time, I'm able to, yes, get in a workout and get all those endorphins and all the other hormones going through my body. But also, we have discussions, real life discussions about becoming our best selves, elevating. So we're kind of forming a professional learning community of self-care and elevation together. And even though self-care is self, it sounds individual, it can very much be a community goal and a community execution. Hobbies like hiking, going for walks with your friends, going to the gym with your friends. Your friends might have the same gym membership as you, so why not go together and continue to encourage each other? I go to the gym with my friend Larissa at 5 a.m. every single day. We meet at the gym at 5 and I look forward to it. I look forward to going to the gym. Even though that's not no cost, it's still low cost because it's $30 a month to hang out with my friend, talk about becoming our best selves, which is like honestly my hobby, and get in a workout and become literally our best selves in action. So high value, low cost hobbies are the way to go for self-care to get through to your brain that you don't need to buy into this idea of luxury and buying things and buying designer as a way of self-care. Yes, it's nice. And yes, I would love to buy designer bags regularly, but a designer bag does not make self-care. It just is something that you like. It doesn't necessarily get to the root of the issue, which is the consistent systems that you need to implement to prioritize yourself. The fourth tip for self-care is to establish a morning routine. Everyone knows that I cannot live without my morning routine. A morning routine will get you right. It is a chunk of time in the morning to prioritize yourself, where no one else is interrupting you and you have a strict set of tasks that you need to do. My morning routine looks like this, and I've actually done a video on this as well. But my morning routine looks like this. I go to the gym. Okay, I wake up at 4 in the morning. I go to the gym at 5, from like 5 to 6 or sometimes 5 to 7. I come home, I eat breakfast, a high protein breakfast. I drink my tea now. I'm not drinking coffee right now, so I'm drinking my tea now. I do my affirmations and my manifestation journaling. I might clean up around the house for a 20-minute tidy. I can get my mind right and know that I can start work without my house being a complete disaster. And then I go into this room, my desk next door, and I start working my full-time job. And I do work for my brand, Actualized AF. It's all possible. I am doing multiple things in a day. I do have a full-time job, and I get up and I do my morning routine. And that time allows me to prioritize the things that make me happy and make me fulfilled and allow me to be the person that I need to be in order to go throughout my my day and in order to go throughout my life. Because without this chunk of time, I'm a mess. I am a complete wreck. So ask yourself, do you need a morning routine? Or how could you adjust your mornings to better prioritize yourself and your needs and your desires as a functioning human, as a human who prioritizes taking care of themselves? The last tip is something that you can implement in your life literally right now or tomorrow. This is a tomorrow table. The tomorrow table is basically a set area or a set table where you lay out everything that you're going to need for the next day. Even if it's not a table, I mean, when I was living in Japan, I had a tomorrow corner. That's where I put my gym bag and my stuff for work. The night before, I would always go to that corner, make sure that I had my shoes, my towel, my clothes to change into, everything that I needed for work, the books that I needed for work was all in that corner. That way, the next morning, I'm not fiddling around and messing up my morning routine, okay? I'm just grabbing the bag and going. So that's an option to have like a set corner in your house. I also have a table in my house where I put out my gym clothes, I put out my journal, I put out my book, anything else that I need for the next day, I set it on this table. It's a game changer because if you are waking up at 4 a.m. to have a 5 a.m. workout, you don't want to be running around the house trying to find a sports bra or and socks, okay? You want to be ready to go at 4:30 so you can drive to the gym and be in a good mood. Everything is about regulating your energy, regulating your mood. Basically ask yourself, what is going to put you in a good mood, and make it a priority to set it out so that it's ready for you for tomorrow. And for me, not having to fiddle and faddle with anything silly, that's going to put me in a good mood. That's going to put me in a good energy space. And that's going to remind me to show up consistently every day for myself, to prioritize myself, because that's the true definition of self-care, and also a few bubble baths and candles here and there. So if you like these tips, or if you have any more, let me know down below. Stay tuned for part 2 of this glow up series, where I'm going to debunk myths about what people think a glow up is versus what it actually is, and tips to help you get there. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I will see you in the next video. Bye.
So proudly I'm standing here right now, you're so demanding. Tell me what you want from me. Conclude.